This is the double chuck form for second degree black belts. There are obviously a couple techniques in this form that are unique to double chuck, so we're going to go through just a few. Number one is your alternating triangle whip. So you start one chuck up on your shoulder, other chuck goes to the same exact hip. This is done in a 4 count. So the bottom chuck's going to come over to the opposite hip. I'm going to flip this one up to my shoulder as this one comes across with the strike. Other hand comes back to the hip, and this one's going to whip across, other one comes up. And that will be one complete combination. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's your alternating triangle whip. Next one, very similar to how you throw your sword techniques. From shoulder to hip would be our double chucks. So just positioning up, heel comes up off the ground. We're going to take both chucks straight down shoulder to hip. Other side, shoulder to hip. So just working these motions. These motions can also add a little bit of a circle. You come out first. Out in front of you, whip it over the head, and bring it across. Out in front, bring it across. You can also add the circle to your body, so the way you move your footwork. As your chucks go out to the side, follow it with your circle, and down. Same thing on the other side. You'll see these in your form. We also go hip to hip, from one side to the other. In one part in your form, you do a trailing double circle, which is one chuck circling across, and the other chuck following it. So we're going from one hip to the other, or back the other way. Those are techniques, again, unique to double chucks. At a certain point in your double chuck form, there's an opportunity for you to modify the techniques if you'd like to. I will show you both ways. The original version is an inside figure 8 strike and back into another inside figure 8. So it is taking our alternating triangle whip and just making it a tiny bit more advanced by adding in your inside figure 8s. The modification to that movement is adding hand rolls and a behind the back toss. So I will show that to you right here. As this comes across, inside 8. When it comes back, I'm going to hand roll and hand roll up. That's the first. As I go into the second, I'm going to bring it back to my hip, circle and catch. This chuck is going to feed around my back into a behind the back toss. So this direction and toss and catch. So watch it together. We're here, inside 8, hand roll, inside 8, behind the back, toss and catch. So if you guys would like to add the modification in when we do our form, I'll let you know where it goes. We're going to start in our attention position. Step out into your chumbi. Yes. Both chains are up. We're going to start by turning to our left 45, chop punch, right 45, high block punch, inside 8, cross. Double triangle whips, circle down, figure 8 and catch. We're going to step in front, chamber the chucks to the right, turn over our left shoulder. Yes, high block, high punch, and key up. Turn to the back 45, chop punch. We're going to bring the chuck up and across. That's going to have us start our alternating triangle whips. 2 steps forward, 2 steps backwards. 1, 2, 1, 2. Regrip. Take your right foot to the back left 45. Chamber on the right. Yes, high block, high punch, and key up. We're going to perform a left leg jumping front kick. Chop. Spinning chop punch, and then punch under. This technique right here is very similar to how you would do a spear hand, but your left hand stays on the top. This is also a key up. Take your chucks to your right hip. We're going to turn all the way to the side, bring the chucks up and over. Bring them back across to your right hip, and we're going to do the trailing double circles as we spin into another stance. Look back to the front, spin them out and over. Back to the other side, and we're going to slide back while chambering and bring them straight back down to our hip like this. Right here is where we get into our modification point. Chucks go up, alternating, and one more, step and cross. Right there is the point, if you wanted to, where you could do your hand rolls and your toss. So again, from this position, now we'll take it to the original version. Chucks back up. Alternating triangle whip, double cross, and catch. So as we do that, we're just stepping the right foot to the front angle, crossing both chucks, and bringing them both up. So one more time, from here, alternating, cross, and catch. We're gonna look over our right shoulder, step around to a front stance with a very big left ridge hand coming downward. Yes, and key up. From here, we're gonna look back over our left shoulder, perform our scorpion kick. Knee stays low, foot comes high. Spin, punch and key up. Chucks up to the shoulder. We're gonna do a single figure eight with 2 steps back and catch. Quickly turn and punch. Look back down the middle, up, yes, and down for your finish. For the burrow, inside figure eight as you spin back around, cross, and step out. Yes. Starting your attention. Chumbi. Yes. Turn to the left 45. Chop punch. Right 45. High block punch. Inside 8 and cross them. Double circles. Figure 8 and catch. Step. Chamber. High block and uppercut. Yes. Turn to the back 45. Chop punch. Chamber and walk. 2 steps. 2 steps back. Catch. Chamber. Turn. Yes. High block and high punch. Left leg jumping front. Chop, spinning chop, punch. Yes, punch under. Chamber your chucks on the right, over the head and turn, over to the hip, trailing circles. Back to the front, across, across, slide back. Remember, this is your modification point. I'm gonna do the original version. Chucks up, inside 8 turn and cross. Catch. Look over your right shoulder. Yes, big downward ridge hand. Scorpion kick, spinning punch, yes. Figure 8 with 2 steps, punch and finish, yes. Inside 8, and burrow, yes.